Welcome to another Monday Mini Pure Hustle podcast. I'm Mike.
And this is Orlando, and I had no idea how you're going to start that one.
Yeah, man. I feel like we got to come up with
we had this awkward pause.
Yeah, but they didn't hear the awkward pause.
See, but what people don't know about this is that when you record this, it is like the first few times you record a podcast or anything on YouTube, it's just awkward.
Yeah, but we've recorded at this point, like
close to 400.
Close to 400 things. Yeah. So if it's still awkward, man, for you, we got to.
Well, there's that awkward pause. Anyways, okay. What we want to talk about in this mini-sode, because we want to keep it short so you can get some quick info to help you out, is why learning a niche is important.
Yeah.
And so
is it niche or is it niche?
It's whatever you want it to be. So
you choose. Let us know below. How about before you do anything else, while you're watching this, in the comments below, phonetically spell out niche or niche. Let's do it as a poll. Let's see what we can get. Which one is right? I don't know. Let you be the judge.
I feel like niche makes you sound more important.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like Jaguar or Jaguar.
Yeah, I guess.
Or caramel or caramel.
No, it's just, okay. Anyways,
caramel?
All right.
Yeah, caramel or caramel.
All right. So
say that.
they do.
Let us know in the comments below. Is it caramel or caramel?
Or how I say buttons.
Oh, now that's
different.
That's not an accurate way of saying it. That's just Orlando speech.
Okay, all right. No, I heard somebody else say it like that. All right. So first thing, why is it important to learn a niche in reselling? It allows you to source faster, right? Because here's the thing, and I'm learning this more as I'm scaling, is that when you are a seller of everything, you end up spending a lot of time learning about everything, right? And I'm not saying it's not good to learn about different niches, but I think it's good to focus on a few, right? And then once you get those, a handful down really well, then maybe pick up another niche. But if you're just every single time, and maybe this is different for everybody, but every single time you're going to a garage sale or you're going to a thrift store or a flea market or wherever it is, and you're trying to look up everything, I think there is a benefit to that. But if you're trying to pick up a lot of goods, because of limited time, and you're trying to make sure that your time is efficient, I think learning a niche definitely helps you source faster.
Yeah, source, whether it's going to garage sales, thrift stores, or even being more focused and just doing like local stuff, whether it's OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace. If you're in a community, I mean, like I've mentioned, a close family friend of ours who's into a specific niche. I don't think I've said what it is yet. If I ever have him on the podcast, I'll have him explain if he decides to. But he pulls in, I mean, his 90-day total on eBay is, we're talking tens and tens of thousands of dollars, $20,000, $30,000 sometimes. And he's only selling a handful of things, few hours a week is all he's putting into it. But I could never do what he's doing because since he's been a kid, has been involved in this hobby, and he's well connected and he knows how to source it. And he knows, so because he's so connected in that niche, he doesn't go to thrift stores. He doesn't go to garage sales. He doesn't need to, because he's on Facebook Marketplace and people know to reach out to him if they have certain things. And so he's been able to develop that, and he's actually able to source much more efficiently because of that. But I just think even generally, like for somebody like me, who's more of a garage sale type store, is, the original saying I think was supposed to be, at least I've heard this, that it's a jack of all trades and a master of one, or a master of some. So now it's kind of been changed to a jack of all trades, a master of none. And I think the correct way of looking at it is you should be well-versed. You should be able to say, I know a little bit about vintage clothing and a little bit about electronics and toys, because I don't want to leave money on the table. If I walk by a set of Hot Wheel collections, I don't know anything about Hot Wheels. You're the Hot Wheel guy. But
I'm still learning.
But I know other niches better. I know board games, but if I see those, I'm going to spend a couple minutes looking them up. I know enough about different things that I can pick up a lot of stuff. But there's a few that as soon as I see something, I'm like, I know exactly what year that was made. I know exactly how much that'll sell for. And because of that, I'm able to save time and source much more efficiently.
Yeah, agreed. Now, along with that, you're also able to get better deals. And the reason you're able to get better deals is your knowledge base will be more most of the time than the seller that's selling it to you. Mm-hmm. Right. Or no one's going to be able to take advantage of you. Mm-hmm. Right. Because you understand the value of things. And so that's pretty self-explanatory. But I can't tell you how many times I go to a garage sale because I know a certain niche. Like, I'm able to get a far better deal because I know how much stuff costs, and I know how long it'll sit in my store, and I'll know, what the shipping is going to be, and all those things play a factor. And I'm quickly able to process all that. And then I'm able to scoop in and get a good deal because I know exactly what my top cost is going to be and what is the most profitable way for me to pick this up.
Yeah. And all of that plays a factor too, right? Like, you might be getting a good price on items, but if that's your niche, then you know what, even though this is still a profitable buy, I'm not going to do it because these models or this whatever, it takes a little bit more to ship or to take pictures. And so unless I get it at this price point, I can't do it. So you get to be, the deals end up working out better in your favor. You're not losing money on either the purchasing or the selling aspect of it. The next one is the networking part. And I was kind of talking about that a little bit. Once you're in a community, you're known for your Harley gear or certain things. And once you make those connections with people, you're going to be somebody that they're going to continue to reach out to. I have people who reach out to me about certain things, board games being one of them. I have a lot of repeat sellers on things like that. And so once somebody knows and you've bought multiple things like that from them, then there's a good chance that they're going to contact you again in the future with more things, or they're going to tell a friend. I've had people say, hey, somebody that goes to your church gave me your number and they told me that you sell these types of things. Can you take a look at it and tell me how much you would be able to buy this stuff for? People I didn't even like, oh, sure. Yeah, I'll check out what you have, because I've been able to network and people know, hey, I know a guy who sells X, Y, or Z. And so once you're in that niche, people know, just like we've talked about, like even getting shipping supplies at work, right? When somebody's like, hey, I've saved boxes for you. But if people know like, hey, you're the shoe guy, you're always like selling shoes and you talk about shoes all the time. I got a friend, he's got a bunch of shoes. Can I get you guys in contact? So once you know that thing, you're going to be able to talk about it easier. You're going to be able to connect with people who know about it, and you're going to be able to network those deals a lot easier. Agreed.
And so along with that, the easier networking is, there are certain niches where like you have to actually know what you're talking about before people will let you in their niche. Right. And again, I know, being tribalist isn't the best thing, but a lot of whether it be the vintage t-shirt market, whether it be, fast fashion, whether it be the sneakerhead community, any of those, the more knowledge you're able to bring into that community, the more welcoming that community be for you. So just something to think about. Now, along with one more thing to get to understand is, when you know a niche, you also know when to get out of certain parts of that niche. And that's so key in reselling, because, I find a lot of people like they're still buying things that they bought 2-3 years ago because they remember that one sale or, the few sales that they had, and they're like, oh, this is still good. And so they end up picking a lot of stuff, recognizing that the market's already like on the bottom of the end of that, and that it won't rebound. And, for example, myself, whatever reason, I don't know. I've never worn a Hawaiian shirt for myself, but I understand Hawaiian shirts a lot more than I did when I first started reselling. And I've learned that certain brands have been on their way out. And now I know that there are certain brands that actually are making a swing up, which is kind of interesting. You wouldn't see it coming, but I know that because I learned the niche of Hawaiian shirts, and I've been able to be part of certain communities of people that are just collectors, and they've taught me a lot. So definitely helps to learn a niche. Now, do you think it helps you in buying in bulk?
Oh yeah. Part of that is that networking aspect. Part of it is just knowing what you should be buying. I've sold a lot of manga, for instance, and a lot of the manga that I buy, I typically won't buy one-offs unless I'm at a garage sale and someone's selling one for like 10 cents. But what I will do is I'll buy in bulk, because I know, hey, if somebody's got a whole set of something or these certain numbers, I'm willing to buy out 30, 40, 50 books from one person, because I know what I can get for all of it. So I'm able to make those bulk buys because I know that market. I know how long it's going to take. I know how to group those books together. I know how to take the pictures. And so I'm able to get those bulk buys, as opposed to, if I didn't know anything about it, I would be a little nervous spending $500 on a purchase. If it's like, this is a handful of things and there's a lot, I don't know. But if it's just a one-off, hey, $2, I can risk $2 on something. But once you know the niche, you have no problem. That friend of mine that I was telling you about, I bought a trailer from him, and he got the trailer thrown in on a bulk buy. And his thing is he'll throw out money. Like, he's got no problem with it because he knows the niche so well. He had one guy drive a trailer full of the stuff for the hobby stuff to his house. He looked at all the stuff and looked at everything and he goes, how much for all of it? And the guy told him, a price. And he goes, well, how about this much and the trailer? And the guy's like, I wasn't even planning on selling the trailer. And he had no problem saying like, I'll give you $8,000 for everything. Bulk buy, like, if you don't know that niche, you don't know exactly what it is you're getting in that. You're probably looking at every single item and like, well, this one sells for 30.
And I find the longer you take to research, the higher the price goes.
Yeah. But yeah, if you can just buy everything, boom. And you don't even have to do all the research, because this half here is junk. I'll be able to basically scrap it, make X amount or trash. These 10 items are gold and the rest of it's just kind of bread and butter. And you can make that bulk buy easily because you already know what's what. You're not researching. Because can you imagine you go into a trailer like that, or you go into a storage unit, and if the first 20 items that you look at are the junk items, you're like, I don't know if anything in here is worth my time. But if you know the niche, then you look at everything and you go, yeah, even if I throw this half away, I know these items will pay for everything else.
Well, that's what happened. Again, I hate bringing this up with the Hot Wheels haul. The Hot Wheels haul, the reason I knew to buy the Hot Wheels haul wasn't because of the Hot Wheels. It was because of the Disney stuff that was on there. So I learned Disney stuff pretty well. I what's good and what's not to pick up as far as vintage t-shirts and other items. And so I knew that with the purchase of just the Disney stuff, even if the Hot Wheels stuff wasn't the greatest buy, I'd still, make a decent amount. And so what ended up happening is that I lucked out and all the Hot Wheels stuff was actually way better than the Disney stuff. But I was able to do that bulk buy because I had security in knowing that niche and knowing what I was picking up. So again, learning a niche, super important. If you haven't, focused on maybe just one, do that. Right. And if you focus on one or two, try picking up a third. It always helps, right? It helps you source faster, get better deals, network, know when to get out. And in the end, get those better deals from bulk buys. And with that being said, make sure to be real,
be relevant,
and be reselling. Peace.